Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome. Blessings. So today we are going to need a bolster, or if you don't have a bolster, a rolled up duvet or some cushions will do, and 2 bricks or blocks. And if you don't have bricks or blocks, books will do. Ideally kind of equal size, but you can use whatever you have around the house. So today we're going to be doing quite a restorative, a more yin-based practice, because winter is a time for nurturing, for conserving energy. Everything in nature takes a rest over the winter, which is why trees lose their leaves, for example, to save energy, because it uses energy coming to feed the leaves. So they drop their leaves so they can conserve energy and go into a kind of state of hibernation. And one of our problems as humans is that we no longer live as in tune with the seasons as maybe we once did, because we have electricity, we have lights, we have all gadgets, etc. So we live to a schedule rather than following our own basic needs, and that can cause health problems. So quite often you may feel less energetic in winter, and that's perfectly normal because we are designed to be conserving energy. So a restorative practice does just that. It restores you back to a sense of balance, a sense of equilibrium. And especially at this time of year, whether you like Christmas or not, it can be stressful either way. So it's going to help balance you out. So just take a moment, either kneeling as I am or sitting. We're not going to be here for too long, but just soften or close your eyes. Take a moment to check in. So I always encourage students to check in before class so you can know how you feel right now, so you can compare it again at the end. So it's not about judgment, it's not about expectations, it's just curiosity. It's bringing your attention, your full attention, to your mind, body and soul in this moment. And if you are feeling a bit anxious or a bit tired or a bit stressed or whatever, try thinking, a part of me feels tired, a part of me feels stressed, a part of me feels anxious, whatever it may be, and just notice how your body responds. So for example, if you are feeling stressed, instead of saying I am stressed, as you say, a part of me feels stressed, or there is stress moving through my body, you may notice the intensity feels slightly less, or you may notice that your attention is drawn to a certain area of your body. It might kind of like start throbbing or pulsating or whatever, and you may notice that's where you're holding that energy. And just be okay with however you're feeling right now, however you're feeling energetically, however you're feeling emotionally, however you're feeling physically. Remember, it's about having an ongoing conversation with your body the whole time on the mat. So take a nice deep breath in, feel your belly and rib cage expand. So just sigh the breath out. Then opening your eyes, just circle out the wrist. We're going to come into cat pose, so circle out the wrist before we begin. You can always elevate your wrist as well if you need to, going around the other way, really popping and cracking. And just interlink the hands, so kind of do a little twirly-whirly, get into the wrists, and to wake the hands up, going back the other way. Never ever feels the same going back the other way. And just shake out the hands. If you have any wrist issues, you can always elevate your wrists, either roll the mat up so that you can put some under the heels of your hands, so it's not at such a sharp angle, or maybe using blocks or something to elevate the heel of your hand. So hands under the shoulders, either spread the fingers out or keep the fingers closed, but make sure you're pressing down into the whole hand and just gently shifting the weight side to side a little bit, and feel the weight in the whole hand. So from the heel of your hand, right up through the balls of the fingers, right up to the tips of the fingers. Knees kind of underneath the hips. Remember, add some padding under your knees if you need to, and just kind of start to sway a little bit side to side. Very nice. And oh, I had a crack there on my back. I don't know if you heard that, but that was my back kind of popping. Always focus on feel rather than form. So rather than worrying about what shape you're making, focus on how it feels. So there might be awesome places that you really want to stretch and get into. So again, it doesn't matter what shape you're making. Once you kind of know what you're doing, either close your eyes or try and imagine focusing on the tip of your nose. So you're not kind of losing yourself to, oh, I don't know if I'm doing it right, blah, 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 blah. Does it feel good? Does it feel good for your body? If that's the case, then you're doing it right. You're stretching out the side body. And imagine doing like a funky cat, moving in whatever ways feels right for you. Go slower than you want to. Again, really notice any areas that are like, oh yeah, I want to stretch there. Oh, that feels good. Nice and deep breath in and out. Then changing direction, noticing how it feels in the other direction. Again, let go of any idea of there being a right or wrong way or only a one way to do everything. Again, it's about what feels good for your body today. And then coming back, as you breathe in, lift your tailbone, draw your heart forward, maybe sinking the weight back a little bit as you do so. As you breathe out, tuck the tailbone under, lift through the back of the body. So inhaling, hugging your upper arms in towards you. Exhaling, lift through the back of your heart. Breathing in, stretch the front of the body. Breathing out, stretching the back of the body. Come to neutral, bring your toes together, sit back to your heels, and then open your knees out as wide as you can. Just have a little kind of jiggle, have your blocks, bricks handy, have a little jiggle, loosen up into your hips, and kind of wiggle the spine side to side, maybe even a kind of circular shape. Imagine kind of belly dancing. Again, don't worry what it looks like. Focus on how it feels. Imagine you're like made of, you should always think of that Mr. Cheese strings. Just moving in whatever way feels good for you right now. Stretching out to the hip, then we hold a lot of emotional tension in our hips. So when we release, or when we stretch out the hips, we can release a lot of emotional tension. I had a student the other week, because sometimes I forget to tell people that, to remind people that, and I was talking about it afterwards, and she said, so that's why I feel all kind of like emotional when we do like hip openers. I'm like, yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. So relaxing your hips and the thighs, you're going to take a block, one in each hand, and you're going to walk the hands out nice and slowly, taking the hands a little bit wider than shoulder width. You can walk them out, you can slide them out. So you're going to keep your hands on your bricks. Keep the arms elevated, so don't collapse the arms to the floor. Keep the arms elevated. When you've stretched as far as you can, start to relax your head. So to start with, it may not be on the floor, that's okay. And just take a couple of breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth here, to help you relax your jaw. So if you're quite tight, the body will go, oh no, I don't want to go any further, until it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's okay now, I can let go now. So it'll take a few breaths before it releases completely. Keep the arms elevated, don't let the elbows collapse to the floor. to relax the face a little bit more. Give me your best kind of horse impression. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Blow out your lips. You might feel a bit silly, but it feels great for the face. Do it a couple of times. Just notice how that feels. It's always good to have a little laugh at yourself as well. We don't want to take ourselves too seriously. Life is serious enough as it is. This time, as you breathe, imagine doing like a little mini cat stretch. As you breathe, imagine expanding through the back of your body. So you're almost lifting the heart towards the ceiling a little bit. As you breathe out, allow yourself to melt your heart down towards the floor. So inhaling. Just lift very subtly through the back of the body, exhaling, melting down. And as you're doing that again, feel the stretch in the whole body. So focusing on relaxing the inner thighs, relaxing the head and neck. And on an inhale, lift your head, taking the blocks with you, walking the hands over to the left till you feel a stretch in the right side of the body. And again, keep the arms elevated, make sure the elbows stay off the floor, relax the back of the neck, relax the head. And breathe into the right side of the body. Make sure you haven't tensed into your hips. So keep the hips relaxed. Again, your head may not be on the floor to start with, but after a couple of breaths, it may reach the floor, or at least it will be more relaxed. You can just do a couple of horse breaths here. In through the nose. Exhale, blow through the lips. One more nice deep breath in. And out. And just staying here for another couple of breaths. Imagine opening, stretching from that armpit right through to the side of the ribs. Stretching out your intercostal muscles. Making you able to breathe more easily. After your next exhale, slowly lift your head, moving mindfully and walking the blocks and yourself over to the right. Again, same thing till you feel a stretch in the left side of the body, and then relax your head. Notice how it feels on this side. So on this side, my head isn't quite touching the floor to start with. So you keep energy in the pose, but no tension. So reaching through that left side. So this left side feels slightly tighter than my other side did. I can imagine relaxing the armpit, relaxing through that left lung. And this time I'm going to do 3 honeybee breaths, Brahmari breaths. So we inhale through the nose and you exhale, kind of humming like this. One more, just close your eyes, feel the vibration as you breathe. Lifting your head slowly so you can vary the pitch on that humming. Bring your hands back to center and then just move the blocks out of the way and slowly moving yourself, that feels good, onto your belly. In a counter pose that they call broken wing in yin yoga, which kind of sounds a bit dastardly, but I just call it the shoulder stretch. It also stretches out your heart meridian. So I'm going to take my left arm out to the side. It doesn't really matter what side you do. So I'm taking my left arm out to the side, palm down, shoulder height, and I'm turning to face the right. I'm going to relax my body. I'm going to shake it out, rocking the hips side to side to relax all the way down to the toes. Keeping the left arm relaxed, that extended arm completely relaxed. Relax the body. And bring the right hand to the floor and bring your right knee up as if you're bringing it towards your right hand. So you're kind of starting to roll over. Now focus purely really on relaxing that left arm, keeping that left arm relaxed. Now if you've got really tight shoulders or you can't relax, then you may just stay right here. If not, press that right hand down into the floor as if you're trying to lift your right shoulder and bring it in line with the left. And either stay here or take that right foot to the floor behind your left leg. Point the knee up to the ceiling and still pressing into that right hand. So you're trying to relax that left shoulder. You still have a bit of energy in the rest of the body, so you're opening up through the hip and stretching out the heart meridian. So relax, imagine breathing into that left shoulder. Nice deep breaths. Again, if you feel like you're holding tension, you could try inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. I'm just trying a couple of honeybee breaths. So 3 happy honeybees, as one of my teachers says to me. So close your eyes, inhale through the nose. And twice more. Again, you can play around with the pitch. Feel or imagine the vibration moving through you. One more. Then slowly releasing, bring yourself back onto your belly, but going super, super slow. And then we'll switch to the other side. So taking the right arm out to the side or the other arm out to the side. Turn your head so you're facing away from that arm. And again, just rock your hips side to side. That also helps to massage your inner organs. Then bring that left hand to the floor, push into it, and bring your left knee up. So you're starting to feel a stretch in that right shoulder. Again, one shoulder will maybe stiffer than the other. Usually my left shoulder is a little bit stiffer than my right. If you've got the right arm, right shoulder completely relaxed, then you can take that left foot behind that right leg. If you're finding you can't relax it, then either stay at the first stage or you can relax the legs, taking that top leg just to the floor behind you and try and keep the rest of the body as relaxed as possible. So it can be quite a strong stretch, especially if you've got quite tight shoulders. So imagine breathing under the shoulder blade. So imagine that space under the shoulder blade. Imagine breathing into there. There's going to be 2 happy honeybees. Inhale. And again, in. Gently, slowly, mindfully come back onto your belly. bring that hand kind of either side of your chest, elbows tucked in. Inhale, lift your belly button away from the floor. Lift your hips, your knees slide in a little bit. Then exhale, reverse, press up. Sit back to your heels. And then curl yourself up to sitting. Bring your legs out and around and have your bolster close by. I'm going to take the legs out wide. Now, if you've got really tight hamstrings and you feel like you're slouching, you can always sit up on a block or cushion. In fact, to make it a more restorative, use a block or a cushion. Pull the butt cheeks back, so you're tilting your pelvis forward. Start to feel a stretch on the inner thighs. Also stretches out your liver meridian, which is great if you're feeling a little bit kind of like, a little bit frustrated, stressed, that kind of thing. It's a great way to stretch it out. In fact, I'm just going to make a light fist and just working down the inside. So where your trouser seam runs, really. And as you're working down, you're hinging forward, so you're getting rid of a stretch in the hamstrings as well. Make sure your fist is nice and relaxed. Maybe stick to the muscly parts, the fleshy parts, rather than the bony parts. The Napoleon, as I call it, the bony parts. Then come back up. You might find you can stretch your legs a little bit wider. Rest your hands on your thighs as you breathe in, just kind of like slouch down, relax down. Notice how that digs into your ribs. As you breathe out, imagine you're being stretched up through the crown of the head, but shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, just collapse down, spine rounded. Notice how that feels. We don't want that. And exhale, imagine stretching up through the crown of the head. As you breathe in again, stretch your shoulders, squeeze, 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 squeeze. As you exhale, drop them down. And inhale, squeeze, shrug, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Exhale, let it drop. Once more, inhale, squeeze even tighter. Exhale, and release. So you're keeping a nice tall spine, so you're activating your thigh muscles as well, your tummy muscles as well. Just circle those feet, nice, big, juicy circles, and notice where you feel it in the rest of the body as well. And then going around the other way, so you should feel it in kind of all different places, not just in your ankles. You feel the stretch in the front and backs of your legs as well. Then flex, push through the heels, and point through the balls of the feet. Flex. And point, flex, and point. Flex the feet, make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. Bring one hand to the side, breathe in, and breathe out, stretch up and over. So keep the legs energized. And exhale, sweep across. And inhale, lift the other arm, lift your ribs, look up towards the sky. Exhale, sweep across. Don't worry how close you are to your feet. Inhale as you open. So breathing out and in. And we're going to try like a fluid movement. Again, focusing on how it feels rather than what it looks like. So don't worry how close you are to your feet. Just feel that stretch in the side waist. Stretching out those muscles, those intercostal muscles. And we're going to stay here. Inhale as you exhale, stretch a little bit further. Inhale, ease off a little bit. Exhale, stretch even further. So you're stretching right from that hip through to the fingertips. You can have that other hand to the floor. Inhale, release a little bit. Exhale, stretch. Keep energy in the legs. Inhale. So as you're lengthening, imagine lengthening right from your tailbone through to the fingertips. Breathing in and out. So you might be down on your elbow here. In and out. Breathe in and breathe out. Sweep across to the other side. Stay here. Inhale, ease off a little bit. Exhale, stretch. So without tensing your shoulder, you can imagine stretching from your tailbone to your fingertips, keeping your legs anchored down into the mat. And you can adjust that hand that's on the floor if you wish. So you may be coming down onto your elbow, but keeping your feet, your legs rather, on the floor. And coming all the way up. And pointing through the balls of the feet. Bring your bolster in front of you. You might need some more cushioning. You might need 2 bolsters or some more cushions, that's okay. Just gently point through the balls of the feet. So rather than flexing the feet, just gently point through the balls of the feet, but try and relax it a little bit more. And see if you can come forward to rest your head on your bolster. And so if you don't reach your head, you have the option of kind of staying up here. You can rest your elbows and rest your chin on your elbows to relax. Or as I say, you can grab additional bolsters, cushions to relax here. Either resting face down or turning the head to one side or the other. So find a position that you can relax in. If you need to, pause the tape, that shows my age, doesn't it? Pause the video and go and grab some extra props. And again, just gently lengthening through the balls of the feet. So there's a bit of energy in the legs, but you're not tensing. Again, using as many cushions as you like. Relaxing down, focusing on that stretch. And so if you can't quite relax down, you have the option of resting either chin on hands, or you can bring your hands into prayer position and rest your forehead. So you're activating more acupressure points, or your thumb on your forehead, or that point, the corners of your eyes. So bridge of the nose, just corners of the eyes, and then the acupressure point. So you can rest your head literally on your thumbs on that point. Is another option if you can't quite reach the floor. So again, you're activating more acupressure points. This is great acupressure points for headaches, that kind of thing. If you're going to feel a bit frazzled mentally, we often do acupressure intuitively and don't realize we're doing it. So, you know, we often find ourselves like rubbing our temples or holding the bridge of the nose if we're trying to think of something. And that's, you know, because we are intuitively using acupressure points without realizing it. So breathe deeply. Feel the stretch in your legs and the length in your spine. Relaxing your shoulders. And you'll find that sooner or later, whether it's after 3 breaths or 30 breaths, your body you'll feel a release after each exhale, but you'll suddenly feel a really big release. And that's because the body has its own like safety mechanism to stop you injuring yourself. And once it's given the opportunity and it knows it's safe to do so, it will sooner or later go, okay, I surrender. And you will notice release completely. And as I've said before, often we don't realize we're holding tension until we release it, because it's become a habit for us. You know, we don't know we're doing it. So don't be surprised if you suddenly go, like in class, all of a sudden I hear people go, ah. It's like they've been holding their breath, not realizing they're doing it, and they've just suddenly let it go. And it's so satisfying to hear, because we're so many of us are running around on empty. We're running around on high alert. We're literally running on our nerves. So we're in a stress response pretty much all the time. And when we give the body the opportunity, it kind of goes, ah, thank God for that. I've been waiting ages. So you can stay here literally as long as you like. You may even end up falling asleep here. That's okay. That's perfect. But if you are ready to come out. And if you do want to stay, just stay. Only if you do feel 100% ready to come out. Bring yourself up nice and gently, no rush, because when we hold a pose longer, even if it doesn't feel like it, we tend to go deeper into the stretch. So you don't want to come out too quickly. When you come up, bring your legs together and just shake them out, bounce up and down a couple of times. And if you feel the need, you can lay yourself down in Shavasana for a little while, but at least take a moment to check in once again. Just simply noticing how you're feeling now compared to when you started. And know that you can return to this practice every time you need to find a sense of balance and restoring, a bit like plugging your phone in. So I hope you enjoyed this practice. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And if you're new, if you're on my YouTube channel, please subscribe so you get first dibs at all the videos. So blessings to you. Namaste. Mwah.